Hello!
Hello.
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 Where are we?
I'm going to talk in my best Russian accent for the rest of the night.
The best Russian
That
accent.
sounded
We need
more
some vodka.
Transylvanian. Vodka. I'll get more vodka later. They added so many little games. A king and a king. I love
Wait,
gay.
leave game?
Oh no.
Oh, is this gonna not?
Why?
Okay. Because it didn't let
Are
me
you
in
going
your
to
game.
join? Are you gonna? You're not in my game yet.
No.
Why not?
I don't know. Get online real
Okay.
quick. Okay, never mind.
You get it?
I got it. I'm
Okay,
coming.
there we go. There we go.
We're gonna need to mute in Discord.
Oh, why do you look like? Oh my God, you're in a spacesuit.
I'm in a spacesuit. Up into your arms. They're behind your back with the your bugle behind your back. Oh my god.
No, it's not. You lie.
It is for me. Okay, I'm ready for our vacation.
Oh, I'm so excited to go to Europe with you. This flight is going to be long.
It's gonna be just a couple hours.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What?
I only have a cent one because I've never done it on my account.
That's really funny.
So this is gonna be really easy. What's that? Oh, nice ass.
Thanks.
My wife shakes it for me.
Shake that
Okay,
ass for me. Shake that at for me.
Damn, I held that for a long time. What the fuck?
Oh.
I don't know how it works, but it also.
I think we should save that.
You wanna? Here, I'll put it in the backpack.
Okay.
There you go.
So while my friend makes her Kahlua with vodka, traditional Kahlua is made with rum.
That makes a lot. That's what I thought it was made out of.
It's literally sugar cane.
Yeah.
Fermented in whiskey barrels that turn into rum.
Yeah. That.
And then they add vanilla beans and coffee. It looks like. Look at this. It's cool.
That is.
Vanilla beans.
Nice. Did I get that for you?
And I bought it.
You bought it? I almost bought one something like that for you. Oh.
Stand still. Stand still.
Oh. She threw a coconut at my face.
They went flying. Oh my god! I just stepped on a jellyfish.
Hey, that's my daughter's face. Yeah. Yeah, Mashi. My mom says be nice to me. I hear your voice, but I don't see you. Where the fuck are you?
I'm by the fire.
Yum. You can make them.
Hey. Hey, girl. Where you at? Where you at, girl?
Yeah.
Bring that ass over here. Big lollipop. Pumpkin.
In their assholes.
No. In a jar and then a ducked vegetable.
Pumpkin, I got you this.
You know.
Oh, a lollipop.
Like a bag or something. They put it
Yeah.
In their asshole.
That would hurt.
A lollipop in their asshole?
Yeah, no, they ferment alcohol in their asshole.
No, they do not.
No, they do not.
They do
Stop
not.
that. We should have did Tenderfoot.
Why Tenderfoot?
So we can just goof off.
Vibe. Well, it's
Yeah.
only Ascent 1. We've done worse.
Yeah. Oh, Joker. I wouldn't mind if Joker is here.
Yeah, Joker and Stan are playing right now.
Are they?
No, this is just us.
Okay.
We're gonna see how far we can make it. On
Okay.
Ascent 1. Unashi.
Yeah.
Some TMI.
Sure.
I'm on my second consecutive month of bleeding.
Oh my god!
Pussy.
2 months?
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, sorry. No, like normally.
Oh, okay.
No. I have not been bleeding for more than a month.
It's
Jesus
been
Christ.
officially 2 months since you started
Yeah,
back.
this is my no, 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 no. This is my second month. I'm normal.
You're normal.
Yeah, I'm normal. I'm having meow.
What?
Meow.
Meow!
Meow.
Meow! I see, I understand.
Yeah. I might be able to bear children. My hips can bear them.
You're ready for breeding.
I'm ready for breeding, you guys. Okay, well, give me a week, then I'll be ready for breeding. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you want me to talk? Do you want me?
What?
You want me to talk about guys at my work?
Sure.
Okay, I need to update you because I haven't updated you.
You're not on the
Oh!
bridge.
I know, I felt it in my toes.
Okay.
So there's a guy at work.
Yeah.
He's like 6 foot. He has to be like 6'3" or.
That's
or
very
something.
big.
He's tall. He's very tall. He's very tall.
That's very large.
And he has like, I don't know, I think if he brushed he usually like pushes it behind his ears, but if he brushed his hair down, I think his hair would be, and it's curly. It's curly. And he's white, not that I'm saying, oh, he's white, but because he has curly hair. And it has like, that kind of has like an auburn look to it. But he's 38.
Whoa.
I told my mom, and she's like, "Don't bring a 40-year-old home with you. Are you kidding?" Jellyfish! Jellyfish!
Ouch! Ouch!
Oh my mother, please! But it's really funny. It's really funny because I want that.
I want the mushroom.
It's really funny because I cannot tell if he's flirting. And this is the reason why. Because I've started playing, like, it was really funny. What was it? Oh, we were wrapping pallets. We were counting these pallets for Black Friday. Oh, balls!
They're balloons.
Whoa! I don't give a shit about this. Or this. Or this. No. Q. I want that.
Are you hungry? You should eat this mushroom if you're hungry.
Is that good for me?
It is good for you.
Can you force? Oh, you did. Thank you for force feeding me. I like
You're
it
welcome.
when I'm force fed. Makes me
I
feel
like
like
that.
I'm being a prick. Yeah, it makes me. I don't. I'm not gonna even pretend to this. Sounds terrible. But like, I can't tell if he's flirting or if he's just a dad. He doesn't have kids and he's not married. But he's 38 And like, I've been playing kind of like, oh, that's right. We were wrapping pallets, and he's
Yeah,
tall,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I'm able. I mean, I'm not the shortest person, but I was able to like, bend my knees and like run around the pallet with the plastic. Wrap. What the fuck happened?
You broke it. That was really funny. You were just casually walking and it broke.
Oh no!
It's okay, I'm coming.
But he was saying how. Oh, also we had like 2 other really tall people with us as well. Princess,
yeah.
his name's Riley. He's princess, but he's a baby. He's like 19, and he's my little princess. And then we have another one. Oh, this isn't.
Why are they just randomly
Ashley.
breaking?
I don't know. And he's like, yeah, he like nudged the other guy, and he's like, yeah, I look like a jackass when I try to grab the pallets like that. And I'm like, oh, you mean you always look like a jackass? And he's like, oh, so that's how we're gonna play this.
Oh.
And he still did. Oh. He's gone.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Hello.
Hi.
I don't know where I'm going, to be honest.
We're just walking. We could go this way.
Uppies.
I think.
I guess I'll go over here.
Okay.
Well, like, he grabbed the saran wrap from me. Oh! This is the one I made the uncle joke about.
What? Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I got a touch of red in me. I'm like, oh, was it your uncle? Because his uncle's a redhead, apparently.
Oh, no.
But you know what his response was? He's like, oh, you're funny. You're really funny for a girl. And I was like, I'm gonna kill you. He said it on purpose. He was kidding.
Okay.
He was kidding. Yeah, no. He did not say it out of, I guess, sexist. He said it because, yeah, no, it was funny. It was funny. Don't worry. But he grabbed the saran wrap from me. And he, like, booped my belly. And I'm like, why did you do this? Why did you boop me? Why did you do that?
That's flirting.
I know! But I'm like, but that's such a dad thing to do. Like, that's what a dad would do, right? He would just, like, boop their kids, their belly, boop their kid's belly. I mean, I would do that as a dad. Like, if my kid did something
I would do that if I was a
belly.
dad.
Yeah, if I was a dad, we're just going in circles. This is stupid.
Follow me. Follow me.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, that's definitely sussy.
Oh, for sure, right? Because like, I don't know, I was just, the other really funny thing that was, I said something, like, annoying, bratty, very much, and the look he gave me, I almost lost, it was so funny. He looked at me with just, I'm gonna kill her. And it was so funny, it was
yeah, I don't know why that hurt so bad.
It hurt real bad.
Okay. I think we have to go this way.
You are? What are you doing to me, woman?
We're gonna go down and then we're gonna go around.
But he plays video games. But like, I don't know.
He plays video games?
I don't wanna date someone who plans to like work at Walmart, if that makes any sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's already, what, 38?
He's 38. Well, he has a lot of like background and a bunch of other stuff, but I think he just moved. Oh no, did he say he was local? I don't remember. Oh no! No! Damn. Do you have any food?
Didn't I give you a lollipop or did you put it in my backpack?
I put it back in your backpack.
I have a health thing. Will that help?
Yeah, it will actually.
You gotta
Oh,
you gotta
God.
catch it though.
Okay. No. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy. Lordy. God damn. Okay, that's good. And then there's another one we have at work who he's younger than me. And we have categorized him as the fuckboy, even though he has like the he's super shy. He's super
Oh, the one
shy.
at the bar?
Yeah, but his mom's
The one that
a hoot.
hugged
I love
you?
his mom. Huh? Squeak! God damn.
Sorry, that was my door. My door creak. Where
This
are
is a
you
dead end,
going?
don't follow me. This is a dead end. I swear to
Where
God,
are
this
you
is not-
going?
I was hoping it would take us through the mountain. I mean, obviously.
I gotta go this way. It's a little bit of a... There you go. Did it say the fog was rising at all?
I don't think so.
So we haven't
We're
even
a step
gotten
one.
that...
It's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the point.
No, but like... We at least know what we're doing, so we're moving upwards. It's just... We're just taking our wee time.
A wee bit of time.
A wee bit of time.
I gotta take a drink
think-
of my cider.
Take a drink of your cider. The coconuts in there? No. Damn. Oh, can we just... No.
What'd you say to me? Ooh, chest. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So if you get 6 of those and tie them to you, you can get an achievement.
Nice.
Oh, you shouldn't have tied it to you yet.
Oh! Why not?
Because you have to, they pop.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they
Oh, I
pop.
didn't know that. How can I get all 6 in my inventory?
You just gotta like,
Backpack.
yeah, have a backpack.
That's so many. What are the chances I even find it?
Oh, I got so lucky with mine.
Yeah?
I found one right at the volcano. Okay, I think this is the right way up that.
I'm just gonna keep going over this way.
Yeah.
But the other funny thing, we're at work and we were wrapping the pallets. We were talking about who would be who from
This is dangerous.
This is dangerous.
This is
well, maybe
dangerous.
actually, who would be who from? Oh my God! It's not Monsters Inc. What is it?
Monsters Inc.
It's not Monsters Inc. It's not Monsters Inc. It's
Maybe this way.
Ice Age. It's like the one with the ice. Ice Age. Because the first one we were like, oh, that guy is definitely Sid. I won't say who.
I don't know
my
him,
favorite
so
character. No, it's fine, but there's people from work that follow me, and God forbid they find out who I'm talking about. And then Princess. Oh, this is not good. Princess and Ben. Ben follows me on Twitch. We've decided that they're the possums. Oh, it popped. Oh no! No! Oh man, I'm hungry. They're the possums because they're like always at each other's throats, but they're also food. That's all the way down there though. Fuck. Mashy. Where
Yeah.
do we go?
If we both eat a lollipop, maybe we can make it up this mountain.
Maybe. How are there no fucking coconuts over here though? What is this horrible place?
Where are you?
I went down. I made a terrible mistake. I'm gonna be real honest with you.
No, we're fine. You're fine.
Oh, well, now I'm fine. Ooh, a coconut.
Where?
Up here. Oh no. Ouch. Where's the other one? Oh yeah. Here you go, coconut.
Thanks.
Oh god.
You got
This
it.
one too.
For me?
Do you need
I thought
this
you were
one?
hungry.
Do you need it? I mean, I am hungry, but do you need it?
No. You eat it.
Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's... I wanted to go this way anyway. Maybe we could get up from here, too. Maybe.
Maybe, baby.
Oof. I don't know. I don't know, darling.
I don't know. I don't know.
Nar.
I don't know.
Oh, the one who is the 38-year-old. He's Manny, though. We have decided that he's Manny.
Oh, yeah, the mammoth.
Yeah, the mammoth. But he's not super serious. He's just, like, responsible and old. But he's not that old. I don't know. 38's not that old. When I first was like, you weigh you're 38, because he doesn't
Look like
he
it?
might just be 38. I just can't tell ages anymore after a certain time, you know?
Yeah.
Like, cause what? Isn't Taryn 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not horrible. It's not horrible at all. And then, oh, can I eat this? Skirt is bad, right?
Skirt is bad.
Okay. The one that I went to the bar with, he's Diego. Because he's a fuckboy. Or because he looks like a fuckboy, I guess is the best way I could describe it.
I see.
Maybe I should tell his mom, hey, your son looks like a fuckboy. He's so fucked to say to someone. Say to your fucking son. Or say to your... I was like, yo, bro, why is it that at the bar last night, the only number I got was your mom's?
You said that to him?
Oh, of course I did.
That's so funny.
I'm fine.
Sound like a fucking crying dog. A wailing dog.
Fuck. No, the fog is rising. Oh no!
Oh my god. I did not know what that did!
I have a bunch of balloons.
Hi.
I
didn't...
Grand. Grand, this is a grand scenario.
I didn't know what that did!
Well, let me tell you what it did.
Yeah, it's a hook
dear.
shot. It pulls you to whatever cliff you're pointing at. Oh! Oh, you're.
No!
Oh!
Oh! Oh! Oh! Please! No!
No! Oh my god.
Oh, I lived!
Oh, you're
Because of
fine.
the balloons! Now I'm just. Oh, fuck me.
Oh my god. You're
Where
gonna
the
stay
fuck is
alive?
the ground? Oh, I'm
Hi,
floating!
Shade.
I'm like, how? We didn't even go that high!
Well, you're flapping your arms like wings.
What the fuck?
I think as long as you have those balloons, you're fine.
I'm so fucked. I can't get rid of them.
Well, you're freezing. You might freeze to death.
Hi, Shade. I can't go I can't go this way.
Well,
Can I just die already?
that was a great first attempt. Oh, you just left? Oh my gosh, you just fucking left? Girls only. We'll play another time. Today, we just want to be with Pumpkin. I'm not thinking. My brain is not. Invite again. You just fucking left? That was really funny.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to just fucking full on leave the game. Oh, my hands are behind my back. That's what's happening. Okay.
Hold on, I wanna...
Wow. You're like... I can't believe you lost in the first round. That's pretty shitty.
You know, we're warming up.
I don't even have Tenderfoot. Oh, there it is. God damn.
Okay, what?
No. I'm still drinking out of my Halloween cup I got.
Escape
it's a glass
the
jar
island
with a
in a
little
solo.
cover.
Oh.
Oh.
Escape a spider's web and survive.
I'll think about it.
Here's a checkpoint flag. Do you want it?
Oh, you caught it. Nice catch. You fucking held your knees, but God. Oh! What? That's what this is? A check. Oh, that's really cool. I wish I was smart enough to know that.
What does it
previously.
do?
We can put it down, and if we die, I think we can go to it again or something. I'm not really sure.
That's a lot of coconuts
Oh.
up there.
I have no stamina.
There's
There's a lot of coconuts up there. That's all we need. That'll feed our families for years. Oh god, that fucker's going. Oh, there we go.
I have 3 in my inventory. I'm so heavy.
Nice. Uno?
Yes.
Hi,
The
Zola.
peak. Yes.
We got the new update to play. Stamina. I don't know, you were really excited about Peak.
Yeah.
Hey, you little fucker! I saw that, you piece of shit! I saw that!
I'm not doing
I
anything.
nearly escaped with my life! God damn. Fucking yeet it. You know coconuts kill people more often. You know coconuts falling from trees kill people more than sharks kill people.
Yeah,
you know
I
that
do.
coconuts
I
falling
do
from
know
tree
that.
is the #1 cause of death in the world. That's not true, but it might
That's
as well be.
not true. Get your statistics straight.
Get your logistics gay.
I am. Smelly Morrow.
That's not that.
Stinky Cox. Ew, his
Stinky
Cox
Cox?
is stinky.
It's yoink.
Disgusting.
Rude. Yeah, Cox, you're stinky. You probably smell like motor oil and sweat.
Yeah, motor oil and sweat. Ew.
Wow, that kind
And-
of. I'm gonna leave.
Oh, that's getting her. That's getting her kind of.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go. Gotta leave.
It's better to smell like wet dog than motor oil and BO.
I love my dog, but I really hate the smell when he's wet. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I gave him a bath today, and I make sure that bitch gets dry as soon as possible. I'll take him outside just so that he can run around so he dries faster, because I hate the smell of wet dog. Why do dogs smell bad when they're wet? What the fuck?
You
Why?
probably like. I'm not approving that. Fuck you.
That's crazy. I'm gonna eat this coconut. Oh,
You
fuck.
can't. You have to break it. Here, break it on me.
Don't need to ask me twice. Here,
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Mama.
you're welcome. There's more coconuts over here. I want them. Oh, and an apple.
Apple.
I lost the coconuts. Oh, wait. Yeah. I forgot to climb onto the tree.
Did you die? No, you didn't die.
I just fell. That's it.
Are you hurt?
Because I'm a fuck yo. Not a lot, but enough to make myself disappointed in myself. Okay, time to do this again. Oh,
Okay.
it's the same thing. So
Yeah, of course it is. So maybe we should go this way, Pumpkin. See what I'm looking
but
at?
that's the way that we were trying to go.
Okay, so what do you think?
I don't know.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Why would you burp like that? Excuse me.
Water.
What, that doesn't do it for you? Oh, thanks. There's a lot of crates. Oh, more water.
You're
Oh, and
getting
milk.
us ready for a boss fight. Oh.
Is that milk?
What is
It's fortified milk.
What do I do with it?
You drink it.
Whoa!
She needs some milk.
God!
She needs
I think
some
I'm
milk.
invincible.
You're disgusting. You like it.
You let go of this piston? What's wrong with Pitten? You let
A pit. Here, there's another one.
Oh, that's lame.
Ooh,
a
yellow
balloon.
crispberry? Pumpkin, you should get in on this. More things keep appearing in my backpack. I don't know where they're coming from.
I don't know either. It's crazy. Damn. Fuck these coconut, I guess.
I have a half.
What do I...
No, you eat it.
Why?
Because it gives you extra stamina.
I am max stamina. Oh, this way bad.
This way bad.
This way bad. Like there's nowhere to get up.
I can get it up. I can find a way to
What's
get it up.
disgusting? Cox, you're calling
Me
Mashy
burping.
disgusting?
Me burping is disgusting. Ladies shouldn't burp.
You're any guy who says a girl is disgusting for farting or burping is not a guy worth ever being with.
Damn! She got your ass!
Shizzle told me that he Dutch ovens you.
Yeah, he does.
That's crazy.
His farts are so bad, it smells like full sulfur.
Yikes. God damn. Zilla told me that his feet smells like vinegar.
I cannot stand when guys' feet stink.
He only said that because I said that my feet probably stink worse than his.
Ah, no!
I got
Why?
It's just like this. My mom was saying that my dad's feet stink really bad too, and I probably got it from him. Like, I don't buy yellow socks or white socks. Well, I just called myself out. I don't buy white socks.
I don't buy yellow socks. I just make them.
Actually, maybe I should buy yellow socks.
Oh my god, pumpkin.
It's bad. And there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I don't. That's why I like to be barefoot. And my feet don't stink when I don't have them cooped up in a boot all day. And that's the other thing. I like wearing boots.
Pumpkin.
I wear boots.
Oh.
And so that doesn't help either. Okay. Mother. Thank you. I enjoy.
Mother.
Shut the fuck up, Cox. God, I'm just gonna make a sign. I don't want to shit chat with you anymore. If he's gonna be there, I don't want to see it anymore.
See what you do, Cox. You show up and you make people leave.
I told my friend that I want his voice as, or his laugh as a
It is your
Discord
fault.
sound redeem or like a sound bite. Because every time he laughs, he sounds like I'm gonna try my best to recreate it. He goes, it's so funny. And I was making fun of his laugh yesterday. He kept doing it. It was so fucking funny. Because he couldn't stop because I kept making him laugh.
It's
I
just
love
his natural
making that
laugh.
little shit laugh. It's so funny. He's so precious. Oh my god, he's so funny to make laugh. And it's so funny. Okay, that one?
My Wendy's is broken.
Rough. If that
Ma'am, this
can't
is a
handle
Wendy's.
my sexual tendencies, I thought you were gonna say sexual tension, and I was like, whatever the opposite of sexual tension is, Cox, that's you. Oh, it might actually be. Oh, you know what, Mashy? Maybe we're just idiots. Because now we have all these pittons, and we could probably make it up here now.
Yeah.
No! Oh my god, I held your hand.
You did.
Oh, I'm gonna breathe for a second. Hold on.
Watch out, you're gonna slip.
Slip inside. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna take a breather and then go. And then hope for the fucking best.
To be fair, we didn't find this many chests last time.
No, we just didn't look down there. I'm pretty sure those were probably all there. My home, can I eat it?
I think this one's poisonous.
Damn. Anthony, what are we making today?
Are you hungry?
Anthony, a wee bit. Thanks. Damn, that did nothing.
What?
What? It did like nothing to me. Carrots! Ugh, I can hold one. Anthony, I wish to go out to the garden and harvest our beans.
What
Anthony, this is very poor
are you
crop.
talking about?
Anthony, there's only 4 beans here.
There's only 4
Have
beans
you not watched
here.
the videos I sent you? The British guy with the camera on his face? The gay British man with the camera on his
Oh,
face?
that does like the fisheye lens. And he
Yeah!
gets like real. Yeah,
And his
yeah, yeah,
boyfriend's
yeah.
name is Anthony, but he calls him Anthony because he's British. I love him. He's one of my favorite people on TikTok. He brings me an immense amount of joy. I watch all of his videos all the way through every time. He shows up, I'm giving him my time of day. He deserves it. Anthony, sing with me, Anthony. Anthony, dance with me, Anthony. Anthony, this is quite concerning.
Quite.
Oh, fucking apple, man. Yes! Keep any doctor away as long as it's not David Tennant.
Matt Smith.
Hey, look it, it's a clitoris.
Oh my god. That's a large clitoris.
I think it's quite average size. How do I plant it? Anthony! How do I plant this? Ah! Bean!
Why did you plant it there?
I don't know, Anthony. I just thought it would be a great place to put it. To be honest, Anthony, I was hoping it was going to be less erect.
It's very erect.
It's very erect. Anthony, I was hoping it would be a little more horizontal and not vertical. I think this might be the first time I'm complaining about the penis is too erect.
What's that sound? What's that sound?
Sorry, my tits are slapping together. Fix your ankle. Goddamn.
My knees.
My knees! Oh, I made it to the top, 'cause there's the wall. I found the Berlin Wall! Too soon?
Huh?
Too soon?
Oh no, don't set the fire yet. We gotta cook all this stuff.
Ooh! Oh my god, I found the death note. Anthony, I have the death note.
The death note.
Oh. Oh, what is it gonna do? Anthony, what does this do?
I don't know, read it.
I cannot. Here, look.
Book of
What happens when you
Bones.
try to use it?
I'm scared to use it.
I know, me too! I feel like it's just gonna kill us. I think that might be the death note, but the writer does not... It doesn't usually kill the writer.
Okay, I'm gonna light the fire. Do you wanna...
What the
Are you
fuck?
alive?
I am. I turned into bones. What the fuck?
I turned into bones!
I turned into what the fuck?
You're so cute. You're just a little bony guy.
I'm oh my god. I showed you my boner.
I showed you my bones.
Please
Please respond.
Oh my god. What am I just I have so much curse on me.
Well,
what do
try-
I do?
Well,
I burnt it. I can't burn it anymore. Oh, Mashy, look. Look ahead.
oh,
Oh, I
spooky.
burnt it.
Well, don't cook it a million
Oh, I didn't
times.
know. I only cooked it twice. Oh, you already cooked it!
I did.
Will this cure me? I don't think it will it? I don't think this cures.
Save your marshmallow.
I'm
Put
trying
on
to
your
cook.
backpack. Put all this in your backpack.
I am getting there. Anthony, please be kind to me. Oh no. There we go.
Oh my god. How do you dance again?
R. Wait.
Oh my god, there's more!
Wait a second. Oh, there is more now. Oh, hell yeah. It's over!
It's
Isn't
so
it?
ogre! It's so
Isn't it
ogre!
over?
Oh, it's over!
I'm gonna
What the
crash
hell is
out!
happening to you?
I'm crashing out! 6, 7, 6, 7.
6, 7, 6, 7.
Bully. What the fuck? Dumb truck baby shark doo doo. 6, 7, 6, 7. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
I'm
nar.
afraid.
Look at Giant Mushroom. Giant Mushroom.
Oh no. Oh no. Arnar Mashi, it's over. It's over, isn't it?
Oh. Mm. Ah! I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm
I
fine.
bonked my fucking head and was eradicated.
I saw your
I
bones
had so
fall
much
together.
health. What the fuck?
I saw you fall apart.
That's horrible. Oh, that swamp water might be bad, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch.
I can't believe I'm dead. I'm extremely upset. We just
You
died.
did do the death note.
Wait. Can you find my stuff and put down the checkpoint and see if that'll revive us? Revive me?
Where did you die? Did you die in the swamp water?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Oh my
know.
god,
I
that's
died as
wind.
soon as-
That's wind. That's wind.
Oh. I died as soon as I bonked my head when I fell onto the bridge. I bonked my head and immediately was incarcerated. That's not the right word.
And that's not the right word.
That's not it. That ain't it. My hands.
Maybe
are
I
so
can find
dry.
another checkpoint.
I'm drier than. I'm
this is
drier
not good.
than something that's really unattractive. Oh, look at the little mushroom down there, Mashy. Maybe you can eat it. No,
Where?
no, other way. Where the mushroom you just dropped.
This
There's
one?
a little mushroom on the vines behind you.
Oh.
Behind the little. Yeah, that. You pick it. Ooh, blue
Ooh.
shroomberry.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Where's somewhere that would make you really dry? Damn, that water is going.
Oh.
Ooh, that doesn't look good. Is that pollen? Are you gonna start sneezing? Could you imagine a game where you sneeze and it like fucks up your vision every time you sneeze, or a game where you hiccup and you like jump up a little bit every time you hiccup, and so you could like easily accidentally fall off. That's behind you.
What?
There's a mushroom on the wall. You should go get it. It looks like one of those ones that blow up.
Bounce fungus. Wee.
Cute. My knuckles are so dry.
Oh. My only friend has perished.
I perished as soon as we got here. I'm really kind of sad about it. I wish you could have found my stuff.
I can still look.
Well, I'm wondering if that's what the checkpoint is for, because I don't really know what else the checkpoint could be for. But I died right underneath that bridge thingy, or the, yeah. Further over. No. It was,
This way?
I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was right over there I died. I'm wondering if it fell into the swamp. It might have fallen into the swamp, to be honest with you. Oh, there's my shit! I think? No, to the left. Oh, it's in the water, I think. Yeah, it is! It's my backpack. I see my backpack in the water. It's floating there. I wonder what happens if you get it, though. Will you die? Oh, wait. Stares intently.
Where's the checkpoint?
Oh, is it not in there?
No.
Oh, was it on my person? It was on my person. Oh, I don't see it. Oh, it's not that deep. You can walk in there, Mashi. It's not deep at all. That sucks. I wonder if it's up there then. I don't know. Well, that's unfortunate. The one thing we needed and we can't get to it. It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't
Okay,
it
well.
over?
I'm sorry. Do you want me to die so we can do this together?
No, there's a chest right there. Maybe there's a checkpoint behind you. We'll see how far you can make it. Unless you wanted to. It's up to you. Oh, maybe the checkpoint. Oh, hi, King! Thanks for the head pat. I'll give myself a head pat IRL. How about that? Head pat for me.
Hello. Ah. Isn't it over?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are ya?
Hi, how are ya? I have... No, I don't. Do I? I think I have a
Ouch.
divot in my pinky where I make my
Ouch.
phone rest.
Ouch.
King, Mashy, and Pumpkin called me smart. Oh my god.
Good night.
Mashy. That is the fucking funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. That thing just That's what I initially thought it was gonna do. Oh, you lost so much shit.
It's okay. Yeah, it had a face. I don't know why I grabbed it.
That's so funny. That's what I thought the mandrakes were gonna do when we first saw the other mandrakes. I thought if I pulled him up, it was gonna yell at me. But
Well, now they do yell. Now they do yell at you.
That's so funny.
I'm not making it through this, my guy.
What you're gonna do is you can give up if you want. That's fine. I'll not judge you for it. I mean, I kind of gave up on mine when you died, so. fuck's happening up here? Yeah, you kind of walked into a bunch of bullshit. Oh no, what are you? Why is it just like it? Oh, it's those mushrooms. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What the,
What the fuck?
fuck
What
is
the
that?
fuck?
Mashie! 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 Oh no!
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh no, Mashie!
Ouch! Ouch!
Oh my god, he's coming for you! Ah, Mashie! Mashie, run! Run!
Why can't I fucking... Okay. This is so scary! It's scaring me! I'm scared!
Oh my god.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
He's coming for you! He's
Oh.
coming for you, Mashie! You almost got grabbed by a spider! Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's so scary!
Oh my god! You have so much damage.
That is so scary. I don't like that at all. The zombies. Oh my god.
That was hilarious. Oh,
That
hello.
was scary as fuck.
That was fucking hilarious. That was fucking funny. That fucking was funny. The last 5 seconds of your life was horrendous. You were getting chased by a zombie. A spider tried to get you. You picked up the mandrake. I know what you're trying to do, you fucking freak. Wait,
Come
hold
over
up,
here.
Hold up. Can we take a picture of us holding each other and each other's
Yeah.
arms? Okay, how do we... There we go, I got you. Oh no, you're ruining it. Oh no.
Oh no.
Do it again. Do it again. Oh no. Oh no. I got you. No! What happened? I got you.
The last one.
Alone! I was too clingy, and she left me.
Is Pumpkin gonna be alone forever?
I guess so.
Bing bong!
Why would you ask that question?
Am I gonna be alone forever?
No, because you have a shizzle.
I'm Bing bong, he says. Didn't even say. You're not gonna be alone forever!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Bing Bong doesn't know what he's talking about. Wait.
Mashie asked the very
I had
first
no
thing.
idea what to ask it, and that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Shizzle said that you're his forever person.
Oh, Shizzle! Bing Bong, am I gonna get eaten again?
I think that's a bad idea.
If I have anything to say about it, yes.
There she is, in all her glory. Roasting
She
bandages.
was a fairy. Yeah, she was a fairy. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Your Honor, she won't stop singing it. She was a fairy. Yeah. Ah! Oh god, Cox is smelling in a good way. Well, I did say he probably smells like motor. Motor. Oh, there we go. Just take her with me. Motor oil and sweat. And then I had to quickly retract my statement because I realized, oh, that's right. Just kidding. I do not like the smell of motor oil. No, I don't like the smell of auto shops. And because daddy issues, it reminds me of my dad. I know, Zilla! That's
What?
the joke.
What?
Zilla, I love that smell. It just reminds me of my dad. I associate car smells with my dad.
Ugh.
I still like yeah.
I'm choking on my spit.
Story time. I have very few memories with my dad. But one of the memories I have.
What the fuck? Where'd my backpack go? Oh, there it is.
It fucking flew off of you. He was babysitting me. He was my father. He was watching me. He took me to work with him. And we were in the auto. Oh, maybe we were actually in the garage. No, we were actually at the garage. And it was the very early. I had because that was
Where did she go?
as a kid. After that, the next time I saw him, I was like 13 or something. Maybe 10. Anyway. And I had a baby doll. And he had like a bottle of lube for like car lube. And I was like, what are you doing?
Pumpkin,
and he's
don't
like,
burn
I'm cleaning
it.
the car.
Okay, fine.
I'm cleaning the car with the lubricant. I'm like, oh, you clean the car with lubricant? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna clean my baby doll. So I rubbed fucking like engine car lube all over my baby doll.
Oh no.
And like, baby doll, like, it got it in the, like, all over its face. And like, it was in its eye sockets. Like, it was everywhere. Like, it was on this baby doll. And my mom, I get home with my mom, and mom's like, what the fuck happened to your baby doll? And I'm like, Mommy, I cleaned it. But then I was really sad that I couldn't get the gunk out of its eyes. And that's my earliest memory as a child. I'm pretty sure. It's rubbing fucking
Lubricant.
fucking car
motor oil.
lubricant
Motor
all
lube.
over.
Pumpkin, I think we have
all
enough
over.
coconuts.
I'm gonna eat all of them. Because I gotta cook them and then get all of the stuff. I just remember staring at my baby doll and going, what have I done? What have I done?
Your
Crazy, mine is watching
Blue's
TV on my
Clues
Blue's Clues
chair.
That's adorable. Oh my god. I have another memory. I have a couple. I was sitting in my little chair. Oh. In my little chair. And I had a TV in my room.
Ah!
Sorry, I needed to eat these. And it was on top of my shelves. Like my drawers, my dresser drawers. And I was sitting in my
Wow.
fuck was that?
Wow.
Yeah. I was sitting in my little chair And I was like, you know, doing that thing they tell you not to do in school, where you like put your feet up on something and then you like rock the chair back and forth, right? Because they're like, oh, it'll hurt the chair. No, they just want you to crack your fucking head open. And so I was doing that on my little chair, like on those little tiny plastic chairs, and I accidentally rocked the dressers back and forth too hard, and the whole fucking television fell on me. And it wasn't like the television
fell
we have
on
now.
you?
Yeah, it wasn't like one
The
of these
box
televisions we have
TV?
now.
I've
Yeah,
had
it was a box TV.
Yeah, I
with, like,
had
you
one of
know,
those fall
2
on
inches
me.
of glass.
Yeah, I had to get
You
stitches.
had one fall on you too?
Yeah, I had to get stitches.
I've gone my whole life without stitches.
I had to
so
get stitches like 3 times as a kid.
Jesus.
Because my sister hit me in the head with a broom, and those old brooms have like nails in them or staples in them.
Oh! Oh
so
my God!
she hit me with the broom, and I had to get stitches.
Oh, oh.
Because I was pissing her off. I was throwing toilet paper at her.
Fuck. Your sister straight up says, "Shut the fuck up, or I'll give you stitches."
No, I was throwing like rolls of toilet paper at her, and she got so mad.
Fuck. I've had moments in my life where I probably should have got stitches, but I'm fine. I have like perfectly symmetrical scars on my forehead, the center of my forehead, and the middle of my bottom lip underneath the lip part.
My sis did rip stitches out of my
but I
arm when I had
almost-
surgery. What the fuck? Yeah, we didn't have those dissolvable stitches back then.
Oh, like they use in your mouth. I've had those in my mouth.
Yeah.
Or my wisdom teeth.
Oh,
My
yeah.
sis did rip stitches out. That's horrible. That's horrible. That made me not feel good at all. That makes me feel bad.
It was an accident? Oh my god, at least it was an accident, but still, what the fuck?
My
Bad.
friend, we were pretending to. So my backyard had a lot of clay, like a lot of what do they call veins of clay, like a lot of clay, and it was gold colored, right? So we would pretend that it was gold. So how did we get up last time?
That way?
I don't remember.
We had a lot of stamina to get up.
Well, we also went down and got a lot of, yeah, look, there's a bunch of chests down there. And we were in the backyard. She had the shovel, and we were pretending to dig for gold. And, my mom, something happened, and I, like, stood up really quick, and she digged, and then she threw the dirt over her shoulder, and the fucking shovel went straight into my forehead. And it was a spade shovel too, so it literally, like, the point of it went straight to my forehead, right to the center. And yeah, and so I had it didn't hurt because I didn't cry, but but her name was Alyssa.
Hello!
She
Thank you for the
started freaking
raid!
out.
Hello
There, Raiders! Welcome,
you,
welcome!
welcome.
Anthony, the Raiders are here!
The raiders are here.
Ah!
How was your stream? Welcome. What did you do? What did you play? Did you play Peek? I want this chest. I want this chest.
Ooh,
Oh,
goodies,
I
goodies.
don't. I don't.
Oh, you're full of goodies already. Okay.
I'm full of goodies. It was getting early because brain fully shut down. Oh no, I'm sorry.
They know it's same, brother. Me. every
Doing
day.
solo D&D? Solo D&D? That's a thing? How do you do
Called
that?
Baldur's Gate.
I didn't know that was a thing. Oh
Get
yeah.
in, Nash. We're going shopping.
Am I in? Doesn't matter.
That's what she said. god, that's what I was like. Why isn't she grabbing? This is literally what happened to you. I see. I see.
It's me talking to myself for hours with the help of dice. Interesting. That
You
sounds
mean
fun.
choose your own adventure?
Choose your own
Works.
adventure. Oh,
I want
tell
a
me about
stream-
it.
actually,
What
I
happened?
probably will.
So did you make the campaign, or is it generated? Is there a campaign that's like generated for you?
Watch out, jellyfish.
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 Jellyfish. Jellyfish.
Let me give you a shout out.
Jellyfish.
Thanks.
What's going on? So
Oh, super cute! I love your model!
we are going to be drawing people.
Very nice.
Silly little doodles, nothing serious.
I make the story and basically play myself with my characters as the main characters. Oh, so it is kind of like Baldur's Gate. Model is so old. Is it? It's so nice. Oh, I bet your
it's gonna hurt. Oh, it didn't hurt.
recent model is so nice too.
I'm gonna climb. Oh my god.
Is this the way?
I'll show you the way.
Show me the way. You're welcome. If you need to get rest, please do so. Get some water, food, snackies, stretch your legs.
Snacks. I'm gonna go with
Stretch,
snacks I need.
stretchy stretch. We're playing the new Peak update, with Pumpkin, the yokai.
Hi, that's me.
I've been drinking a little bit of hard ciders.
Hard cider. Nice.
Hard cider? I barely know her.
Yep, that's why we had to use cider.
Drunky Mar, I'm not drunk.
Getting cider.
I'm not raid and run, but have so much fun with the new update. Thank you!
Drunky Mara, yeah. Getting
Thank
master
you
drunk is the
for
only way to
trusting me
pay
with your
attention to
community.
me. Can I?
I don't. Feed yourself.
Can I? No. Stop! Move!
There's no room in my
I'm gonna
backpack.
trade. No, I know. I'm gonna eat this, and I'm gonna put. Oh crap! I need to put. Uh oh. It's fine. Okay.
We don't have any pittance.
That's okay. Oh. It's okay, I
Help.
got it. Okay.
Help!
Here, come. I got you. I got you.
Got me. Oh, chest.
Ooh, chest.
What is it?
Another. Wonder. Oh, we can get up here then. It's good. It's good. It's good.
We're doing so great. So fantastic.
We're doing great.
You're doing
We're actually
amazing, sweetie.
You're doing great, Kylie. I fucking said that to my coworker, the Manny, to Manny, and I love annoying people. Have I told you I really like annoying men? They're the most fun people to annoy. They're just so
Easy to annoy.
I don't know what it is.
They're
Pissing
easy
off
to
men,
rage
but,
bait.
like, rage baiting men is probably one of my favorite things. Of course, I have my favorites I like to stress out. And the secret's out, you guys. Men fall in love through stress. Tee-hee. So, if you really want to make them fall in love with you, stress them out as much as you can. It
Wait,
works
what?
Every time. Did you hear about that?
I didn't know this factoid.
So, what is it? I forget what the one it is for women, but for men, they fall in love apparently through the chemical that is released in their brain that is called Vesperin or something, and
Uh-huh.
Vesperin is a stress-induced chemical, so it only is induced during stressful situations. So women that stress out men, apparently they fall in love with a lot more, which is
That's
super
interesting.
funny.
Checks out. Does it?
This has been, a recent study that has confirmed that, I guess if, men, I guess maybe
Stress
who
your
react
man's
to-
out. He'll fall in
Yeah.
love. For the last 20 years? Oh no!
God. Aww, that's so cute.
That's so cute that you're stressed out.
It's so cute that you've been stressed for 20 years. Congratulations.
Congratulations! You know what else is cute? No. Me? I'm adorable, thanks.
I'm fucking adorable. Us together, Mashi, we'd make the cutest babies. Damn. Oh, Cox, am I pretty cute? I think I'm pretty cute.
Pretty
No,
adorable.
I think Cox has a crush on you.
I think Cox has a crush on Pumpkin.
Ew.
What?
I mean, oh. Yeah, drink the milk. See what happens when you drink it. It makes you, like, big
Yeah,
and
but I think we
strong.
should save it.
Where, okay, how, are you damaged at all?
Here, take this balloon.
A wiener!
A wiener! A
Oh, yeah,
wiener!
we can just put it in here.
A wiener. Look, guys, it's a
Okay.
wiener. I'm gonna smoke
It's a
it.
wiener.
No, don't smoke it yet. I'm gonna get a book. Another book of bone! Oh my god, I didn't literally say I'm gonna get a book and I got the freaking book of bones again.
I mean, it's not. I don't know what I don't know why.
I don't know what the benefit is of the...
I didn't get. Oh, I didn't get hungry.
What-oh,
But
one
I
of
was
our...
really delicate. So if you are really good at being delicate when climbing, you don't have to worry about being hungry. I just noticed that.
Uh-oh, one of our scouts stepped
Oh.
on a sea urchin and died. I was about to get really sad, but one of the other kids touched a weird statue and it brought their friend back to life. Oh, okay, yeah. Do you want the wiener?
You can have the wiener.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm gonna cook this milk.
Me cooking men's wiener. And then eating it. Huh?
Oh, there's no food in here. Nope. All done.
Why are you cooking men's
Why are you
wieners?
cooking men's wieners?
Because I
they
can.
Taste delectable.
Delectable, a true delicacy.
Let's do this again. I didn't jump! Oh my god, I'm fine.
Please don't die again.
Fuck.
Please don't die again.
God damn. Wind! Oh god! Oh, I'm afraid to jump off. Is it
Okay,
gonna
you can
sweep
jump
me
off now.
Okay, it's fine. In high school, when I was in criminal law, the first thing we learned about was a case that happened in Germany where this guy paid this lady to come over, chop off his wiener, cook
I'm
it,
sorry.
and then force feed him it.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Well, that was the first thing I learned in criminal law in high school. Oh, I think I want to go over there. Anthony. Anthony! Oh, this is not.
Oh
no.
god! Oh god. Oh god.
It's
Oh, we're
fine,
fine.
it's
Oh, we're fine.
It's not fine! It's not fine! It's not fine! It's not fine! It's not! Oh my god.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Where am I? I'm stuck.
You're stuck in the bridge.
Wait, how did I get
Your
revived? But you
leg is
didn't.
your leg is all floppy like a wiener.
A weenier?
A wiener.
I can't move.
There you go.
Okay.
I fell directly below you.
What am I gonna do without you?
I don't know. Oh! I had a check flag on my...
Yeah, but I think it only works for the person who places it. Because that's why I got revived, because I placed my check mark, my checkpoint thing.
Oh, damn. That's unfortunate. This place doesn't like me, I think. I think I'm not allowed to play this level. I just died
in your arms tonight.
It
Must have been something you said. I just
should've walked away.
should have walked away. I would like to revive my friend. What?
Oh god, no. I'm looking at my messages, and somebody sent me a funny video.
Oh my god! Pumpkin!
Huh?
Oh, 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 oh.
What? Sorry.
I'm dying. I'm not actually dying. Okay. There's a lot of things that can kill me here. Like a lot of things that can kill me here. Oh, what the fuck? It's a spider.
I should call him.
You should call him.
Just kidding. Haha. Call who? No one.
Okay. As long as I don't
I'm
run
trying to get through
into
this
any
coffee.
zombies. You're still drinking that coffee?
I'm sorry, I'm a sipper.
I am a guzzler.
Damn.
I'm a fucking guzzler. I guzzle that shit.
Well, it's a coffee. Like, it's just really flavorful. Okay, I finished it. I'm gonna get vodka.
No! 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 Owie, you bit me, you bitch. Will this hurt me? Oh. Okay, where do I go from here? Where's the exit, chat? Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god. He fucking just ran at me. The bitch. The bitch. What is this? Oh, it's bad here. I'm in the bad place. I'm in the bad place. I'm in the bad place.
Oh, Mesh! What the fuck? What the fuck was that? I didn't clip that! That was so fucking funny!
I was just trying to heal myself and he jumped at me.
That was so fucking... Oh, Mashy, run! Mashy!
You just gotta keep running.
That is so fucking funny! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Okay, where do I go? I like am so lost actually. No! How do I? I'm dead.
Oh, you died. Oh, nice.
Pumpkin! Oh my god! Pumpkin! Pumpkin, 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 pumpkin! Pumpkin, look what I got!
What did you get?
You're gonna love it.
I'm so jealous!
You gotta cure yourself from a zombie bite. Why can't I grab you?
Hi.
Oh!
That was so funny. That was so fucking funny.
Are you clipping that?
Oh, that was so funny. You were getting chased that whole time, but I showed up right as he tried to jump for you and completely and epically failed. And I was like, oh god! That was really fucking funny. That shit was hilarious. Like, hold up. Wait. Paste.
It probably looked funnier on your end.
Oh, it looked hilarious on my end. This shit was so funny.
Keep pulling out my knife like it's gonna
Oh, Mesh!
No.
What is?
Do you play Valorant?
Oh!
You should come play sometime.
What?
Oh, I forgot what I was. Oh my god. I heard Boffy and I was like, what the fuck? It was a clip that's playing.
Oh, the clip. Yeah, no, you have to click on the thing that I posted.
I don't
Yeah.
stream Valorant. What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
He offended me.
We're cooking.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Bad place. Bad place.
Oh, Mesh!
What the fuck was that? Oh my
Bye-bye,
god.
Cinder.
I'm okay.
How are
I'm
you
okay.
feeling? Her
I'm
ass still
okay.
hurts.
I'm still hurting. I'm still bruised like bad. But I have medicine.
Do you really? Is it the alcohol?
Yeah.
Oh!
Well, I was running down my stairs, my carpeted stairs, and there's no, like, I don't think there's any, like, cushion under the carpet. So I slipped, and I fell on my booty, and I bruised my tailbone. Or my
Crazy work.
coccyx.
Your coccyx.
My coccyx. I got too excited.
Get in this.
Why? I don't want to go out in the
Get
sea.
in. Get in.
Ah! I'm dead. I hope your buttocks recover soon. Thank you. I do too. It's frustrating not being able to, like...
Damn.
What? Were you trying to kill me?
There's a shark out there.
Is there?
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah.
I'm
Here,
scared.
get back in. I'll show you. Hello. Why?
It's frustrating
Vodka?
not being able to sit.
Oh, well, I poured some some
very
vodka. I'm not painting my fingernails, though. Keep swimming. Keep going that way. Go out.
Why am I doing this?
So you can go say hi to the shark.
Are you sure there's a shark?
Yeah. I promise.
I don't see him. I'm out pretty far.
Keep going. You're not far enough.
I think she's fucking with me.
There you go. Keep going.
I'm scared. Okay, I'm running. I'm gonna keep running. I don't think I can go any further than this. I think there's an invisible wall pumpkin.
They must have changed it, 'cause I got killed by a shark out there before.
Are you sure it was this game?
I don't know what other game it could have been.
What was that one game we played with Stoic?
Oh, yeah! You're right. I forgot.
She was. She was very mistaken. Oh!
Did you hear it when I was flying?
I
through
did.
the sky?
Are we gonna do this or are we gonna do this?
Fuck, I don't know, man. This is our 4th attempt.
No. It's our 3rd.
Is it? I actually don't know. I thought it was okay. cream on it, baby. Gimme
Munching.
your love.
Munching.
Cause I'm hungry, you can't keep
Oh,
it from me, Lord knows
I
you
have to-
got more than enough.
I have to not lean on my tailbone. Okay.
I got a nut.
It's very hard to sit and not lean on your tailbone, guys. You know that?
Cause I
Can I have a half?
can't keep it from me, Lord knows you got more than enough. Baby, I coming. I
Oof.
don't think it's funny. Gotta give it a rest.
Feed me.
I might just lose
Oh,
my
you didn't even break it the
mind.
first time.
Oh no, this is my second coconut.
Oh! I'm stealing this. The shell doesn't work.
Lord
You
knows
can't.
you got more than enough.
Hold on.
Baby, I coming. I don't think it's funny. Gotta give it a rest.
They added more emotes to the game,
I
guys.
might just lose my mind. I think I'm entitled to your body. Got a little problem with personal space, and I've been
What are you
pounding
singing?
the Jaeger. My breath and behavior has been driving the patrons away.
Beautiful.
Thanks. You listen to Ludo? Do you know what song I'm singing?
I've heard "Love Me Dead" by Ludo.
Love me dead.
Yeah.
Love me dead.
Is this Big
No,
Time
it's
Rush?
Ludo. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Big Time Rush? Are you kidding me?
You were singing it very pop boy-ish, or maybe that's just
Yes,
the song.
Pop Boy. I was
Like-
singing it exactly the way
Boy
God
band.
intended.
A
I never watched Big
moth.
Time Rush.
Thank you for the
Oh wait, isn't Big Time
follow.
Rush? Do.
Yeah, yeah.
Zilla knows. Zilla heard like a note and then he started fucking busting it, and I was like, what the fuck are you
Busting it?
doing?
Damn, Zilla, you busted?
Yeah, he
You
does,
busted it?
all by himself.
Captain, hi, Captain. Sorry.
Hi, Captain, my Captain.
Sorry, Ghost. Can I call you Ghost? Sorry.
I actually
Ghost.
don't know any Big Time Rush songs. I didn't watch any of the shows. It's a Nickelodeon show, right?
Ahoy. Yeah, I was.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ahoy.
Duh. I was a big Nickelodeon gal. Yes,
Me too,
please,
just not
much
Big Time Rush. I
appreciated.
like
Okay.
cartoons.
Nice to meet you. No, I'll save that. I'll save it for a special occasion. What? God damn it.
God damn it.
Well, now
What?
we can't take this. I don't know if I like the rescue claw. It's kind of hard to use. I mean, I guess if I... Hold on. I guess if I...
There, it's fine. We're good.
The fuck?
There we go.
Pleasure to meet you. Ah. Where? Oh, there she is.
I might just lose my mind. I think I'm entitled to your body. Got a little problem with personal space, and I've been pounding the Jaeger, my breath and behavior. I've been driving the patrons away.
Munching.
Love me dead. I also like I'm a killer.
Oh, I've heard that one
Cold
too.
and wrathful.
Yeah, I've heard that one too.
Silent sleeper. I've been inside your bedroom.
God, I haven't listened to Ludo since middle
left
school.
You left. Wait, really? Oh, I listen to it regularly. You're a ghost, love. Night screaming. Dark cathedral.
Don't you guys think Pumpkin should do a
midnight.
karaoke stream?
Why? Am I terrible at singing?
You're not terrible.
Thanks. I just have a lot of power behind my voice. I get yelled at every day for being too loud at work. Every day. I'm loud, obnoxious.
But they would miss you
Unforgettable.
if you weren't loud, I'm sure.
Oh,
They would be like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you being loud?
That's why it sucks when I'm sad, because they know that I'm sad. It sucks! It sucks being so fucking transparent.
Yeah, she is pretty good at singing. Yeah.
Munching. She's pretty good. She's pretty good.
She's
Thanks.
really good. Fucking camp. What is that? Camp Rock something?
I don't know. I didn't watch that either. Camp Rock! That's it. That's all
Yeah!
I know.
Camp Rock! The fucking corny ass movie. I've never seen it, but I always see clips from it.
Yeah, that's all I know.
She's really good.
She's really good.
I've seen that all the time.
I'll never forget when the senior in theater and also was in a band said he could see me being in a punk band.
Oh.
I was like, I don't know what that means. Is it because I look goth? I don't know what that means. I don't think I sing like punk though. I mean, I like that music, but I don't really sing that kind of way.
Yeah.
I belt. I could be an opera singer. Anthony, I wish to
Be a
join
Broadway
the opera.
singer.
Huh?
Broadway.
I'm gonna be on Broadway.
Mama, I want to be on Broadway. Here.
Ugh.
Take my hand, darling.
Take my good hand.
God. That's my good hand.
That's my good hand. Here, let me serve you some mashed potatoes with my good hand.
Ew. Ew. That movie's so horrible.
Oh fuck. That was me when I hurt my arm at work. Oh, Mashie, it's over for me. Mashie, go on without me. Mashie, Mashie. Oh, I'm fine.
Are you fine?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You
I'm
bitch,
fine.
I came down for you. Are you hurt?
Like barely. Like literally, I feel like I have a splinter. Like this is so stupid.
Oh my God.
Like it's not even worth a bandage. Like, but I don't think. Oh, can I
Guys,
used all my
chat, do you like
stamina.
eggnog?
Oh, I'd fuck eggnog if I could.
You'd fuck eggnog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's so hot. Oh.
Thanks.
Thumbs up? You do like eggnog?
Uh-oh.
It's okay.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean
Uh-oh.
it's okay?
Uh-oh.
What do you
Hi,
mean?
Gab. Uh-oh. 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 Oh. Oh.
I'm fine. What are you doing?
I'm stuck. I mean what I said. It's okay. Oh, we could go over there, Pumpkin.
Mother... I like eggnog, but I usually get the super thick kind, and then I water it down with
Yeah,
some milk because
ew,
it's
with
so
what?
thick. Huh?
What do you water it down with?
Milk.
Oh. Ouch!
Ooh. How's your coccyx?
Did I fall on my ass again?
Well, I mean, probably.
My coccyx is bruised. I
Last-
sent you a
last
DM.
year I
I was
had-
like, want to see my crack, but then I was like, no, that's too revealing.
I would love to see your crack.
It's like, want to
We
see
talk
my
about
crack,
eating each other
and you,
out, but you won't even show me your
you
fucking
didn't
ass crack.
respond to my want to see my crack, so I deleted it.
How long was it there for? Like what, 2 minutes? Was I at work? Probably.
No, it was more than 2 minutes.
No way. I was probably, my pick walks like can go like 40 minutes, right? Like I will not look at my phone for like 40 minutes at work. You have to at least jellyfish. Watch out.
Watch out!
Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out.
Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out!
I'm gonna drink so
What if
much
I-
fucking
what if-
plastered
Pumpkin,
with eggnog this year. What?
Never mind, I'm not gonna do that.
You're gonna send
I
me
was
a
gonna
picture of your
backflip
crack?
into it, but never mind.
You wanna see me do a trick?
I want to see a trick.
Look what I can do!
These mushrooms are good, Pumpkin.
Oh!
Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
Be careful, SpongeBob! Be careful, SpongeBob! Be careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob!
Do you need another one?
I love it. Yeah.
Love it.
I love it when you let me suck on your shroom.
Whoa! Whoa. Do you think she likes me, guys?
Fuck. She asked if I could suck. She
said she likes me. Little does she know I will. Ghost!
Whoa! Does Mashy have a little shroom?
Why don't you come check?
Mashy has a little femboy shroom.
Oh my god. No, it's at least 12 inches.
That's why Shizzle likes you.
Oh no! That's why Shizzle likes me. Oh my god. I'm laughing too hard. I need to drink water. Hold on.
So you can piss yourself? We gotta refuel the piss tank?
What's the point of drinking if it just turns into piss?
I drink and then I piss! I drink and then I piss! I'm falling! I'm falling!
What's the point?
Oh god. Fuck. I live to drink and I piss to live.
I need that on a hat. Wait, what was it? I live
to drink and I piss to live.
I don't think that's what you said the first time.
What? I drink to live. Oh, I drink to live. No. Wait. I piss to drink. No, that's not right. That's not right at all. I
Piss to drink it.
I drink piss. That's not right either.
Oh my god. Good night. Oh, oh my god. I'm cackling. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're cackling. Wake up, you sleepy bitch! Wake up.
You did this to me! I can't breathe.
I can't breathe either. It's the girl that falls out of the... What is... What is it, raspberries? I'm crying. Ooh, effigy. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Oh, for me.
For
That's for
you.
me.
It is.
That's for me. Oh, fuck. Oh,
Hot dog. Hot dog.
hot dog. Get up at that dog! Get up at that dog! Get up at that dog!
Ooh, fortifying the milk even more with fire.
I'm gonna fortify my nuts.
Is that not milk?
It's not milk! It's my nut milk, freshly squeezed this
I'm
morning.
lactose. I'm
Well, good, because I don't have any toes.
I lactose.
Where'd they go?
Oh my gosh. She's dying.
Fuck.
Okay, let's
I'm
not.
not going that way anymore.
why don't we
I die
go-
every time I go over there.
Why don't we try going all the way down?
I'm
like-
going down. What the
I'm going
fuck?
down.
Oh, the pollen was so big on my screen. I thought it was an enemy.
Yeah.
Oh no, the. I'm scared. Uh-oh.
Wee. Pumpkin?
I'm scared.
Okay, just go down slowly. Welcome back, Sunny. That's a spider. Guys, that's a spider. Do you see it? It's gonna get me. Watch. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry if you have arachnophobia. Look at her. She's having a grand old time.
I lived, bitch.
We lived, bitch.
I finally get to enjoy this. I'm gonna get stuck under a tree. What's happening to me?
Are you okay?
What happened?
You got blown away.
Oh! That scared me so bad.
Jesus Christ. Don't go into that stream. Yeah, don't let the bad thoughts win. Pumpkin. Stop it. Stop. Wait. Wait.
They don't love you like I love you.
Ow. You good?
Oh, okay. Well, that was fine.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, it just stops.
That streak could wake the dead.
Yes. Don't you guys think? Oh. Don't you guys think I should be a scare actor though? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh! Oh! Oh my god. You scared me so
I'm
bad.
not. I'm not a zombie. I promise.
I didn't know where you came from. I thought I fucking thought the Kelpie was coming for me and pulling me down into the lake. The Kelpie was coming. Thanks. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Oh. Does it have a face? Oh my god. Alright, take care.
Alright,
Okay,
take care.
Ghost, thank you for coming.
Bye, Ghost.
Bye-bye.
Oh, there goes all my extra stamina.
Thank you. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Oh my god. Grab on! Grab onto the thing! Oh, you were fine. We're fine. Oh my god. The echo is insane.
Nice tips.
Thanks.
Can I rub Texas Roadhouse butter on them? Can I lick Texas Roadhouse butter?
Yeah,
on them?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yoink. Ding.
What's that?
What's that? Glass. Okay, I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh. I'm fine.
Which way are we going? Oh, there's a spider. Oh, there's a spider. Oh. No! 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 No!
Where are you
Pumpkin!
going, you silly little guy?
Pumpkin! Pumpkin!
Ma-
Pumpkin!
Maxie? We're not
Pumpkin!
that far.
I have a health kit!
No, my friend! Why are you hurt? How I put you down?
Heal me!
Like a car will heal you? Okay, fun fact, how do I put you down?
Press
I don't know how to put you
Q.
down.
Q?
Q ain't working.
Oh!
Pick your backpack up. I cannot. Oh, there we go. Heal Mashy. I'm healing you! Stop moving! Welcome back to the living, dearest friend.
Thank you. Okay, I'm good. I tried to heal myself, but I was too late.
Oh, lame. Wait! They don't love you like I love you. Oh, wow, oh, wow.
Okay, the wind happened and then I almost perished.
Why do I feel so short?
I don't know.
Why am I Zilla sized?
Zilla sized?
Oh. Yeah, he's really short.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like 5'2" or something.
Whoa! I expected you to be taller, Zilla. I don't know why I expected that, but I did.
Yeah, he's not that tall.
Are you lying? Are you being a little liar?
I wouldn't lie.
And your giggling says otherwise.
Fuck. Well, he's not here to defend himself, so yeah, he's like 5'2".
Thanks.
You're welcome. Food.
I'll hold on to it.
Okay. Oh.
I think we have to wait for that to dissipate.
I don't think it ever will because of that big mushroom right there. I think it lives there.
Arr.
I want to know what these are, though. I want to know.
There
Oh
don't-
no!
There's a
Oh,
zombie
no!
over there.
R.E.P.O!
There's a zombie over there. Don't wake it up.
But it is awake. Where'd he go?
He was-
Uh-oh. Oh.
Those mushrooms literally do nothing. They are useless. You can't even pick them up.
Oh. Oh, okay.
We should go this way.
Okay.
To the giant
Well,
shelf
the-
shrooms.
Okay.
The what?
We're right at the edge, so we just have to be careful.
Okay, I can rest.
Resting, resting, resting.
Okay. Okay. I'm on top of the shelf shroom.
Hell
We
yeah.
are on top of the shelf shroom.
What is that thing? Hello there, little guy. Oh my god, you are so cute. Can we be friends? Please,
I don't-
can we be
I don't
friends?
know if we
Please
can
let us
be-
friends. We're not friends. He's gonna buck me.
Is he gonna buck you?
I think so.
Oh god, he's coming towards me. I'm scared. I'm scared! I'm scared! I'm scared!
Oh, he doesn't hurt. He just bucks. Okay. Well.
Quit that.
Oh no. Oh no.
Quit that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Quit that.
Oh my god.
Quit that.
Oh my god.
Pumpkin, are you okay? Oh god. Ouch.
He was bucking me a lot.
He was
They
bucking me
don't
too.
hurt. They just buck.
Yeah, but until they buck you off a fucking cliff. Let's go this way. This way. This way.
I wonder if we can throw something at them. They're really cute. I want them as a friend. So what do these mushrooms do? Will they hurt me?
I think that one heals you. Maybe.
Nope. Oh, no. Food. I have a bad feeling. Oh. 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 I'm just gonna take a little rest, I guess. What the fuck?
Come this way.
The hell is that? No.
How am I still getting blown? I'm not even in the fucking... Thank you for the water.
Damn.
Can't-
Another!
I'll just my posture as best I can, but it really hurts to move when I'm sitting down.
She has to shrimp, you guys.
I'm not like shrimping. I'm like
I don't know where to go from here, man.
I'm like leaning on one side of my cheek because I can't
Right.
I can't like sit straight
Actually,
on my
here we go.
booty. Pumpkin.
Huh.
Do we have anything useful? No. Okay. I think we maybe have to turn it back around.
Uh-oh. Ouch. Ouch. That hurt so bad. Oh no. Oh Christ. Oh Christ on a Kringle. Oh Christ on a Kringle. I'm
Where are you?
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Whoa, you're way down there. What the?
I took the expedited ticket via gravity.
Me and Pumpkin are gonna make it through the mushroom area, okay, chat? Trust.
Trust.
I don't know where... Oh, you are. There. Maybe if we go that way around the smoke.
Yeah. Oh, you bastard! Don't touch me. Uh-oh. No, no,
Grab
no,
onto
no,
the...
no, no.
Ouch! I'm dead. I'm so dead! I'm...
Ooh, that. Oh.
I knew he was gonna buck me off the fucking ledge.
Oh shit.
I knew he was gonna buck me off the fucking ledge. Oh, Pumpkin died. Oh, Pumpkin.
Mashy, I blame you for jinxing us right then and there.
I got bucked off the ledge.
You're like, we're gonna make it through, and immediately.
Yeah. I have a suggestion.
What?
Would you like to, keep playing this?
Or?
Or we try the new R.E.P.O update?
Oh, that works. We can do that too if you want.
Okay. She's like, get me out of here. Hello.
Hi, I don't even know. Let's see. R.E.P.O. It's gonna have to update for me.
Probably for me
That's
too.
probably won't. Oh, no. It says it's already up to date. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Probably no mods.
No mods.
No mods. Oh my god, sorry. Which means you can
Sorry,
play
not
R.E.P.O
sorry.
free until November 3rd. What the?
Oh, do they have a free
Free
thing
week.
right now? That's nice.
R.E.P.O.
Private. Do we want to start a fresh one?
Yeah.
Here. Oh no, you won't be able to invite me. What's the word of the night?
What's the word of the night?
She don't want me.
She don't
You don't
want
want
me.
me,
She don't
but I
want
use
me.
him for his body. Yeah, yeah. Oh, he a gigolo. Gigolo?
He a gigolo.
I don't know how to spell gigolo.
Gigalo.
Gigalo.
ALO.
Gigalo. Gigalo. Gigolo. Gigolo. I send bro some dumb shit and I'm patiently waiting for them to open it and look at it back at me. God, why are you like this? Stop it. Leave me alone.
What?
Don't exist. I hate it here. I'm stuck with Riley and Parker. We love Princess.
Can you invite me?
Yes. I asked somebody who was 18 how old they thought I was. And they're like 22, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I am.
Fuck
If
yeah.
that's what you think, then hell yeah. I'll be 22 for you, baby. Put in the pigtails.
Oh my god. That's not 22 age! Oh my god.
But have you seen my new hairstyle though? So I have like I have layers on the top of
Yeah.
my head.
Yeah.
But then I put my little tiny pigtails. My little ones on the top of my head. They look
Your
so
little
cute.
one.
I got two little ones. They're so cute. I think I look adorable with them on. I think they're super cute. It adds like a little bit of funky to my hairstyle.
A little bit of funky.
Someone said that they were gonna start calling me Cammy, because I am like a chameleon with my different hair all the time.
That's cute.
Like a chameleon. I'm like, okay.
What is happening?
Yeah. Oh, he a gigolo. Hello.
Wow.
Wow,
Hi.
you're beautiful. I love you.
Juicy.
What did I think of? What did that? My brain went to a specific scene and I can't remember
Don't know.
what it was. But it. What am I thinking? It's in my head. As soon as I close my eyes and pretend to go kiss. It's appearing in my head, but I can't remember what I was thinking of.
Have you seen the secret room? And then they make out.
No, I have not seen that.
It's Charlie and Pim, and everyone's animating secret
no.
room.
Oh my god, it's right on the tip of my brain. I can't remember. I'll probably message you at like 3 a.m.
I remembered.
It's usually what happens right when I'm trying to go to sleep and it just shows up.
Whoa, this is heavy. What is this?
What was that all
There's
about?
something up there. There's something on the locker. Above.
There is?
Yeah, there's something.
I don't know if I can grab. It's a calculator. Oh. Cool. Ah!
What is this?
Oh, you bastards.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, you got them.
I'm glad I'm not super drunk. That would have really been difficult.
I should go get some eggnog and rum.
More drunk?
Ah! What is that?
I don't know. No, thank you.
Oh!
Oh! Oh!
Oh! Pumpkin, run! Pumpkin, hide! Oh my god, it looks like a... Pumpkin. Did you died? Okay, I hear you. I think he's fine as long as you don't mess with him.
Oh my god, I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
Oh, run! Masha, have you ever downgraded to a previous OBS version? I have not. Why? Is your OBS breaking? Man. What happened? What's wrong? I might have... My bitrate is bad. And it's still bad even after you adjust it? What do you mean? You can adjust it in streaming settings. You can adjust your bitrate. Or output settings, something like that. You adjust it based on your upload speed. My bit rate is I'll once we finish this round I'll tell you what my bit rate is.
Any trees,
It's been fine before.
corporate and dull, casting for
Yeah.
gold, leave me alone.
Pumpkin, I have something to put in the cart.
Oh. You stalk so passionately, like a parasitic, psycho, filthy creature, finger banging my heart. You call me a drunk, does the fun ever start? You're awful, I love you. She moves through moonbeams slowly. She knows she'll help me! Help me! Oh my god. Jesus. God damn. I was like, what's happening?
I didn't know what was happening either.
Like the wind from Peak. You call me a drunk, does the fun ever start? You're awful, I love you. She moves through moonbeams slowly. She knows just how to hold
There's something
me.
on top of that.
And when her edges soften, her body
Help.
is my coffin.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to fit this in here.
Well.
Okay, straight and then to the left. Am I going the right way?
Okay. Yeah.
I can't see. I can't see where I'm going.
Is my coffin. I know she drains me slowly. cappuccino.
Well,
should
JJ,
smile
I
to hold me.
maybe
Oh,
it
stop,
happened
stop, stop.
after you updated. I would try to. I don't really know how to go to a previous version.
Oh, please get in there. Oh, please stay in there.
Okay,
Please. Oh,
we
fuck.
got it.
God damn.
Okay, let's go.
Woo!
What version am I on? 32.0.1. Oh. You should probably click the button.
Oh, probably. Just stand here. Fucker. You fucker.
Did you hear me? 32.0.1. I'm only 1 point ahead of you. Yeah, I don't really update unless my OBS is broken. Let's see if we can figure out.
Skeletons on parade. Yak de Haiti, yakety hum, the sun's under the stay.
I would
Heaven is
probably.
having a hell of a time, skeletons on parade. Yak de Haiti,
Good
yakety
boy.
hum, the heaven is having to stay. Heaven is having a hell of a time, skeletons on parade. Lake, Poncho train. Darius was yelling
I
that
thought
he
I
saw
was
someone
being
hanging on the swells. He
responsible.
jumped out yelling. He jumped out yelling and no one was going as well. Come back! Why the hell would they leave the car?
Hi.
And that's when they heard it.
I
Make no
tried to scare
mistake.
you, but
The
I'm not really
voices
that
were calling
scary.
them from
No, you're
under
not.
the. Hi, what's up?
I was trying to be scary, but I'm not.
Why? No, it just.
Oh,
went boop,
yeah, you
boop.
know, I should have joined and said Texas.
I couldn't hear you anyway because I was
What the
muted
fuck?
and deafened.
Mashy wasn't.
Oh. You gonna play R.E.P.O with us?
No.
Why are you here then? Just kidding. I'm just
Saying
kidding.
hi to my boys.
I love my boys. I just love my boys.
I have a vagina!
For now.
No, don't take it from
You
me!
won't for
I
long.
threw it myself! My clam.
JJ says hi, peas.
Hello, peas. I mean JJ.
My clam.
My clam! Don't take my clam!
That's all
I'm
I've
about
got.
to fucking freaking. You know what? Everything I try to think of to say just sounds really fucking weird. So I'm not gonna say
I don't think there's anything you could respond to. Don't take my clam!
I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna shuck your clam, but that sounds really weird. Like, oh, I'm gonna freaking pry your clam open. That sounds
I'm gonna salt your clam.
Salt my clam.
Have you not seen the videos of that guy who's preparing like a big clam, and he shows how he shucks it, and then he covers it in salt, and it just like it literally just like watching it looks horrible.
So JJ,
When
you're
the
gonna need to
comments
go
are
back to
terrible.
GitHub and download a previous version, but make sure you have all your assets.
Assets, great asset. Assets, great asset.
What are you guys going to GitHub for?
Previous
fucking
version of
know.
OBS.
He needs more porn, I guess. I
Oh.
don't fucking know.
JJ's having.
Never update OBS ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
don't update unless it's broken.
Alright, I'm gonna go watch TikToks in bed.
Okay, bye. Love you, peace. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
You want an upgrade?
I need a health after making that
Okay,
bad
there's-
decision.
Okay, go get health then.
But I mean, we have a lot of money. I like sprint recovery. Crouch reset.
I want range.
Radu gadu gadu nice rending gadu ga. Daisen konsom. Karaisen konsom. Gadu gadu ga. I should ask Bormond if you know what that is. He probably doesn't. He's too young.
Ah! 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 Ouch. Oh my god. I feel like I'm
that
going
meme.
insane! Okay, that's health for you.
Thanks. Oh, I didn't need it. Well, you know what? Fine, we have it for next time.
Yeah, just save it. Ugh. Mother, I'm ready, mother. I'm ready, mother.
Oops. Ooh, that was a lot of money.
What the? Ew, it has ears, like human ears.
I like it. I like it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh my
Yeah?
fucking god! Mashy!
What? Oh my god. That's us.
Oh my god! What?
That's
That's
us.
fucked up! Oh my god, he's missing his legs! He's been gutted! Actually, horrendously enough, this looks like another crime that I won't speak of. What the fuck? What is this? We are leaving. It wanted to be caught. What the fuck?
God fucking. Don't spill it. What the? This is disgusting. Pumpkin die. Did pumpkin die, Chad? Yes, she did. I got you, baby girl. Come with me. What the fuck? Pumpkin. You just activated your legs. Stop that. You activated your legs.
Yeah, so when you're dead, your shit recharges, but you can jump now as a head. I died
Okay.
to the shotgun man though.
The other places around here somewhere. I think it's straight and then to the right. What is that?
I don't know, something bad.
I'd like to leave. There's this thing. Wow. 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 There's a bunch of stuff over here. I just spilled a fucking martini. Oh my god. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. The way she just.
They look like ball sacks. Stay in there.
That's funny. Oh, my tummy hurts. Yeah, we're playing R.E.P.O. I got too frustrated
Look how
with
that doesn't get
Peak.
anybody's fucking attention. Gotta go.
Pumpkin? Are you in here? Did she die? Does that mean people alive? The 2? Or is that level 2? Pumpkin, I need you to tell me if you died. Oh,
I'm sorry, Mashi.
it's
You're in
okay.
my God.
I didn't know where you were.
For you.
Thought you ran to the ship or the
I
truck.
did, and then you were taking forever to get here. So I
Oh
was like,
yeah, don't worry. I was coming back.
okay.
Ooh. Oh, it's a trank gun. What the fuck did you do?
I don't know. Oh. Oh.
Ooh, we could get this. Indestructible drone. Hey.
Ew. Good night, Mom. Love you. What?
I literally don't.
There's no nail polish in here, I swear to God.
It might be he cleaned his dresser in there.
Maybe that's probably what it is.
Yeah, voice got all distorted. Stop it! Please! I'm sorry! I won't do it again!
I literally kicked it out of my hand. Wow.
Can you
That
shoot?
was good. Apparently not. God
Come
damn,
on!
it's like right next
Come
to your
on!
head. I can't.
Oh, you got me. You got me. I'm gonna fucking throw this in the toilet. I'm gonna throw it in the toilet! Where is it?
I have no idea. It kind of just fucking flew away. Just fucking getting rid of it.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Whoa! That was really scary sounding.
God
I want that.
damn.
I want this.
Hmm.
Oh, extra jump.
I like that.
Do you think we should get this drone? It'll help things not
Maybe.
break.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want anything else? Goodbye.
Oh. Why did you? Why though? But why though?
That's crazy of you. Oh, you didn't buy it. Oh, we didn't have enough for it because we had to revive you.
Oh, what? It costs money to revive me?
Yeah, I guess.
Ooh, pan.
You work tomorrow?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's only 9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab a drink, actually. I'll be right back. Short break.
Break time?
Yeah.
Short break. Okay.
radishes, carrots, jalapenos, garlic, and
Jalapeno.
I just ate some, and it was so good. My mouth hurts, but like it's a good burn.
I'm eating the pickles I got from the Apple Festival. And
Fuck yeah, brother.
they're so good.
I want you to try my mom's pickles one of these days. When I drive up to come visit you guys, I'll bring a cooler and I'll have my mom make them so you can have some.
Oh, you
They're
bought
so
the
good.
duck. Wait, no, you didn't buy the duck. We haven't left. Ah!
I put a mysterious amount of vodka in the last cup and this cup.
Shizzle poured my drink.
Nice. Well, it doesn't taste that bad, but it is covered with mango and lemonade. Hoping for the best here.
I was looking at what you
Did
got,
you just-
sorry. No, I was
Oh,
looking
this
at what
is
you
mine.
got.
Oh. I love you. Love you. I'm gonna sing the first song that starts playing on my Spotify. Okay, you ready? Okay, like songs, shuffle. Let's go. What's the first song? What if the devil was a lie?
Huh?
What if God did not exist? So with all due respect, tell me what is death? Is life is just a bit? I see the devil in their eyes. I hear the light behind their grin.
Oh my god.
They wander in the dark. You know I have a heart. Don't let them take you in. It was falling in reverse. What a fucking surprise.
You're crazy.
What do you mean I'm crazy?
I broke
Maggie!
it.
I
broke
watched
it.
that happen!
I broke it.
You fucking yeeted that bitch!
I did not eat it. I gently moved it to the side. I gently moved it to the side. Wink, 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 wink.
Okay, next song, next song. Oh, I don't... This doesn't have any lyrics. Oh, I can't sing that song. Yes, I'm a mess with an S on my chest, that's just getting up my head.
There's nothing in this freaking womb.
Yes, I'm a mess with an S on my chest. So some last night giving up my job and I stuff like this. I want that. Yes, I'm a mess with an S on my chest. I spent last night getting up my life for the. What the devil is it?
Okay, how does this work?
What was that?
The baby! The rugrat!
Fuck that baby bitch. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that. Fuck this bitch. Ugh. Fuck this bitch. Uh-oh.
You stupid bitch.
Yeah, kill that baby bitch.
Watch out, Pumpkin, watch out! She can go under.
Oh no! Fuck you, you dumb slut.
Our cart.
fuck
Oh.
are you?
Oh.
Oh my god, it's Abaddon!
Yeah, he is.
The birthday. Got you. I got your butt.
I got your butt. Gucci
I
Gucci.
got you.
Gucci Gucci Gucci.
I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. What do you do? What is your purpose in life, child? Are you gonna... Oh,
He
do we
just
have to
wants to
give it a
party.
gift?
He just wants to
Do we have
party.
to... Do we have to give it something?
No, see those balloons, Pumpkin? You should go pop one.
Yeah? Oh no. Oh, there's so many of them. I'm afraid of them. You'll float too. You'll float too. Ash, get the car.
Feels like I'm doing this.
I need help.
Yeah, I know. 1 second.
What the?
Okay, I'm coming. Oh god, so heavy. It's so heavy.
Is it?
There we go. Just pivot it. There we go.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Okay. Do you want to go drop it off then?
Yeah,
20,000.
probably. Should we take that off? I'd hate to accidentally sell it. What if the devil was a lie? What if God did not exist?
Did you get a mushroom?
I did
Mushroom.
find a mushroom. Oh my god, look at that picture. Hell yeah, look at that. And neither of us died.
Hell yeah.
No, get back in there. Yep.
Okay, we need to find the... I can go scout for the next...
Okay.
Oh, did you go up those stairs?
Yeah, there wasn't... The problem is there's another level.
Oh my god. There's so many balloons. Oh my fucking god, there's so many balloons, chat. Pop the balloons. Don't pop the balloons. Don't pop the balloons. Don't touch the balloons. What is that?
Oh god. Oh Jesus. Oh god. Oh god. I popped the balloon. I wanted to see what would happen, and here's the deal.
Here we
I
are.
apologize. Here we are. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Oh Lord. Oh
Okay,
god.
I think he's
Little
fine. I
Chucky's
think
gonna
he's
get me.
okay. I think he's okay. I think he's good. Are you okay?
Dumb cunt.
Are you okay? Okay, he's fine.
Oh.
Our money bag.
I'm not popping this fucking balloon again. I think you're the birthday boy. Oh.
He jumps.
He's literally Abaddon. Abaddon. I love Abaddon. I would kill for that child.
What
You're
are you
not
doing to
Abaddon.
him?
I'm not doing anything, I'll be honest.
He's
Staring
so
at his
scary looking.
dumb fucking cunt-ass face. Can you attach it?
No, I won't attach.
Damn, that'd be really funny.
There's a lot of balloons in here. You can go around.
Well, what happens?
He's gonna get you. Oh, I don't think
Come
he
at me,
can,
dumb
he can't
cunt.
climb.
That's hilarious. What an idiot. Here, Mash, I'm gonna hand something to you.
He really wants you.
Whenever I see Machinery, I friendly inside.
Oh god, Mashy!
She's killing the birthday boy.
Oh my god. That's really funny. Oh, there's more shit up here too. That kid's still alive. Well, that was exciting.
Well, that was exciting.
Fuck you. No, no, no. Ouch.
Hello, Tobin. Tobin
Kill each other.
Bonful. Hello, hello. Oh, I should not have my water on that side of my
Abaddon,
desk.
stop fucking.
Pumpkin.
I'm sorry that you died. It's really unfortunate.
Pumpkin.
It's very sad. Very sad indeed. Sorry. You bastard.
Oh, guess who woke up at 3:30 a.m. and won't be able to go back to sleep because I'm sick. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm guessing you. I'm sorry. You don't have any like drowsy medicine to take? What else does she have up there?
What? What? No, no, not the shit. Not the shit.
I
Kill
have
Abaddon, please.
paracetamol and water because my headache and dry throat. Oh.
Dumb bitch blew another fucking balloon. What a dumb cunt. No, get off of it. Oh my god. No, please. Oh, I'm fucked. Oh! Are you kidding me?
Pumpkin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I love you.
I love you. I have enough.
You do have enough. You can revive me and we can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's reasonable. Yeah, 'cause I have 10 health. I was trying to make them kill each other. It wasn't working.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. You dumb baby. Fuck you.
I don't think he can hurt us if he can't find anything to throw, but maybe he can throw us.
Fucking suck.
I have 1 health.
Me, I have 10. Basically one shot for both of us, so.
Okay, start it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Start it. Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, what the fuck was that?
I don't know. What if devil was a lie? What if God did not exist?
Feather drone, recharge drone, valuable tracker, frying pan. There's the climb!
Climb?
Yeah, we can climb with this upgrade. I think
Well,
I need
that's
stamina though. 2k for stamina. Do we still have that med kit? What upgrade do you want? You got
I
tumble
like
climb.
stamina.
Stamina. Stamina, mana. How much stamina do you have right now? Like
Huh?
max stamina? What's your max stamina?
4D.
Okay. Mine too. Which is 50. Ooh, another strength upgrade. Kinda want this.
Ba-dabba-dabba-dabba-doo. Yabba-dabba-dabba-doo.
Yabba dabba dabba doo.
Yabba-dabba-doo. 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 Nom nom nom.
Do you want an extra jump?
Hey, unless you want it. You can have it.
Okay. Do you want health?
I'm at 60. What are you at?
51.
You can have it.
Here, turn around.
Anything for you. Nice. Oh. Is that done for?
What? This? No, it's not done until it breaks.
Oh. Can I tell you about my little cousin?
No.
Who's like 15 or 16 now, so like this is a long fucking time ago. When she was a little baby, like a toddler, and she could like, hold her own sippy cup. My aunt would just do this. Just, take a drink and then just that was just her whatever. My cousin mimicked it. And so every time she drank from her sippy cup, she'd be really dramatic. She'd go, it was so cute.
Oh, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
I still need to finish part 3 of Baldur's Gate so I can get a naked mannequin statue of Astarion.
What the?
Here, let's just... Yes. Did we just go put this away?
Yeah, we can put it on the platform.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't have to worry about bumping walls because we got that drone on it.
Oh, it's stuck.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Oh, does this make it invincible?
Yeah, indestructible.
Oh!
Oh! Oh, thanks.
I got that.
Thank you.
Here, you have it. Cool. What if the devil was a wife? Why the God not exist?
Boat.
Can't let you forget everything I said.
Ooh, another big thing. Pumpkin, I need you. She's probably trying to find the point, the extraction point. Pet the dog! Pet the dog! Oh, that's why. Okay, I thought the dog was doing that. Did it hurt the dog? Okay, she's never gonna find me.
Right here by my side. Could be the Bonnie to your Clyde. What I wouldn't give.
Pumpkin, I have departed from this realm. Pumpkin, I'm dead.
I wait. You. Oh, found it.
She's having a grand old time. She didn't come across any enemies. She probably will now. Oh, yep. That's pretty funny.
I'm gonna write that down actually. I like that. What I wouldn't give to have you by my side. Be the Bonnie to your Clyde. I need to do. I just have a fucking note in here that's just black 24. It's so out of context. Let's see. What I wouldn't give to have you by my side. To be the Bonnie. To be the Bonnie to your Clyde.
She's over here writing music. Oh my god.
What I wouldn't give to have you by my side. To be the Bonnie to your Clyde. That's it. I don't have anything more after. But I like that. I'm gonna write a speech.
Pumpkin! Pumpkin!
To have you by my side. Be the Bonnie to your Clyde.
The only thing is she gonna be able to move
Looks like
that
a stupid
vase from in
door.
front of the
Oh.
cart? Cause I put a huge fucking vase in front of the cart. Oh no.
What I wouldn't give.
And I only moved it because I had 2
side.
strength.
Be Bonnie to your Clyde. Just to know that you exist every day. I thrive. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Every day I thrive. Knowing that we vibe. I wonder if Nash is alive.
No, I'm not. I'm not alive.
Every day I thrive, knowing that we vibe. And we could.
What the fuck? What? What happened?
Ugh, fucking fucking hot. What am I supposed to do with that thing? Face masks and stuff. What I would give to have you by my side. Be the Bonnie to your Clyde. To know that, just to know, just know that you exist every day.
Pumpkin! Pumpkin!
Alien walked in on me playing the harp. Uh-oh,
Oh,
this is bad.
uh-oh. Oh, he
You
got it.
fucking cunt.
Hi,
So
nice
fuck.
nice seeing you here. Funny seeing you here. He also kicked me to death. I was also kicked to death.
Oh my god. I was like, come on, she's really quiet. She's probably dead. What is
Have a
this?
tooth! Where you at? No, not the doll!
Oh god.
What the fuck is that? Jack him?
I don't know. Please, can't we just be friends?
No! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh Christ.
Hey, bada swing!
Wow.
Have you watched the first episode of Welcome to Derry? Or it? Welcome to Derry. Hello?
Welcome to what?
Welcome to Derry.
No, what is that?
It's the It series on HBO Max.
The It Theory?
It series. Like the clown, It.
Oh! No, I haven't.
It's
I've never heard of it.
terrifying. It's terrifying.
Is it?
I couldn't even
Ooh.
finish the first half of the episode.
Oh god, is it scary or is it just fucked up?
It's
about
fucked
being
up. It's
fucked up.
absolutely fucked up.
I don't know if I.
And it involves something graphic
Rape?
for no something
Okay,
graphic
because I
for
won't
women.
touch it if as. Oh.
No,
And it's not that.
it's not that.
What is it? Horrible pregnancy situations? Because that's the
Yes.
next. Ah, God. I hate
Yeah,
that.
it's like birth, like a terrible, terrible.
Great. That's exactly what to add to my list of. Oh yeah, I want to have kids after watching that happen.
Right?
Ugh.
I was like,
God.
no, I couldn't even look. I was like, it's terrible.
Yeah. Another? What are we doing? It's a 10 for you.
Yeah, I think I might lay down.
Yeah.
It's
Woo.
10.
That was
the-
fun.
Yeah, 10 away. That was fun.
I'm glad we got to play it.
Oh. Where's my... Hello. Hello.
Talking to myself over here. Shit's
Yeah.
crazy.
Why do you deafen yourself?
Oh, I don't know. Ooh, that was just vodka. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh.
Blah.
Horrible. Okay, I'm ending stream then.
Okay.